The previous class, we have discussed about the history of the making of maps. History of making of maps. So today we are going to discuss about use of maps in our times. Okay, even you know that people prepared and used maps for different purposes. Babylonians prepared maps for recording the lands, information about the lands belongs to temple. And next, Greeks started preparing the maps, and later were prepared. Even Arabs prepared the maps, Chinese prepared the maps. Okay, like that. People made and used those maps for different purposes. For what purpose? First of all, sailing, and another one is for trade, for conquering the different countries, and to find the new places and colonize the other countries, especially European countries, discovered the routes towards different continents to conquer the different countries. So finally they achieved, they conquered, or the colonized all the continents, including Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Australia also. Okay, for those purpose, they sent their troops to prepare the maps to understand the conditions, those countries, atmospheric conditions, people who, living there. Okay, materials or minerals which are existed in that places. So to know that information and to know the sea route about those countries, they sent some people. Okay, so like that they prepared maps. So nowadays also we are using maps for different purposes. So for what we are doing now, so for planning, okay, for development of countries, we are using maps. So with the help of maps, we can plan where we can construct the dams, where how to provide the water to the drinking water to the people. So where the people are suffering for different with different problems, to solve those problems, so we can use the maps. Example, about drinking water, where the water bodies are available, in which height those are available, where the people are suffering with for drinking water, how can you provide drinking water from faraway places to the place where the drinking water is not there. Example, in Nalgonda, the people are suffering with fluoride water. So if they drink those water, the bones will become weak, the growth of the children will be stopped. So if you want to provide a drinking water to Nalgonda, from where we have to supply, where the fresh water available, like that we can prepare the detailed map about the water bodies. Okay, so after analyzing these maps, where the water bodies are there, how can we provide, is it possible or not, what is the height difference between Nalgonda and other places where the drinking water available. Okay, later we can, after analyzing the map, we can decide either the fresh water provided by digging the bore wells, or building the dams, or constructing the tanks, or bringing water from distinct places with the help of large pipes. So we will decide later after analyzing the map. So like that we can use the maps for different purpose. Okay, building roads, building industries, building hospitals, building schools, also we can use the maps. So here not only the government, every individual person or individual business people also can use these maps for different purpose. Example, business people can use to extend their businesses where suitable markets are available. What are the conditions of the people? What are the economical position of the people? Like that, they can prepare the maps. Okay, if you take the example, Jio, recently Jio Reliance company entered into the mobile provider, net providing. Okay, so what they did, so they, before going to start this, they analyzed the market, and they prepare maps where they can construct the towers to provide the what is that internet. Okay, so like that, so they can use these maps. Clear? Next, another one is reading thematic maps. Thematic, already you know the thematic map. So in this, we can take one aspect in thematic map. So the map which is explained about the one topic or one aspect is called a thematic map. With the use of thematic map, we can explain how hot, how cold, how rainfall is there. Okay, and where the different crops grow. Okay, which soils are suitable to some particular crop, which soils are there in our country or in our state, in our area. Okay, where people are using land for different purposes. Okay, any, where the forest areas are there, where barren lands are there. So if you find the barren lands, the government can plan to construct double bedroom houses or industries or dams, like that. So to know the barren lands in our state, where the barren lands are available. Barren lands means empty lands under government. Which lands are not using for irrigation, which lands not using for any other purpose. Okay, so we can prepare a map for barren land where those are available. So those barren lands are either belongs to private or government. So if the government lands are there, which industries can construct there? What are the raw materials are available around those barren lands? Either it is there in underground water is there or not there. Like that, we can use map for every purpose to explain every object, everything. So like that, if you concentrate on one aspect to prepare a map, that is called a thematic map. So while using thematic maps, while preparing the thematics maps, usually we use colors. We shade the map with different colors to explain the aspect. Example here, colors given dark green. If you use dark green, what is the meaning of that? There are thick forest is there. That area, thick forest. Light green, grasslands. If you use brown, means their land useful for agriculture. Okay, if you show a yellow color on the map, the areas, cropped area. If you used dark gray, means mountains are located there. Light gray, hills, yellow, plateaus, light red, wastelands. Okay, light blue, tanks, river, canal, wells, dark blue, used for show the oceans and seas. White, place where minerals are available. Black, boundaries. So by using these colors, by using these shades, we can explain about the lands, different lands, and uses of those lands, and which lands those are, what purpose they are using. Either there are forests are there, or there that is the irrigation land, or mountains are located there, or hills are located there. Like that, we can explain with the help of thematic map. Clear? While explaining the thematic map, what we'll do, so usually we use different symbols. Already you know that, you learned in the previous classes. So all physical maps, to show the physical objects on the map, we use the symbols, different symbols. Example, post office, or railway station, or railway track, or highways, roads, rivers, temples. So we cannot show exact physical object on the map. That's why, to show the physical object on the map, we use different symbols. So likewise here, to show the lands, uses of lands, we use the shades, colors only. Okay, when you see dark green in a particular area, means there is a forest. When you see yellow color in a particular area in our state, or in our district, or in our town, so there is a cropped area, that area is using for crops, different crops. If you want to information about the different crops which are growing there, you can prepare another map. We cannot show all the information in single map. We use different maps for different information. Okay, we can use number of maps to explain number of things. Clear? So these are called thematic maps. So especially thematic maps explain only one aspect clearly. Okay, so we use this mostly in the physical maps. So explain about the land use, or about the forest, about the minerals, about the tanks. So we use different maps. Don't draw any lines on your mobiles. Erase that. Okay, next, make a population map. Example, so if you want to explain about the population in our country, do you know the total population in our country at present? 135 crores. 135 crores. Within 20 years, I think, within 20 years or 50 years, the population is doubled. Okay, once upon a time, only 65 crores are there at the time of independence. Okay, but now we try to cross the China. Now our population is 135. Now we want to know the information about the population. So then we can prepare the population map. How can we prepare the population map? That is important. So we show population for a square area. For square area, how much population is there? We will calculate. So to calculate population for a particular area, first of all, you have to gather the information of the population. Example, if you take any village, there are 1,000 people are living. Okay, the total area of the village is 110 square kilometers. The area the village is located. Okay, boundaries of the area located 10 square kilometers. Next, area wise. Next, population wise, how many people are living there? 1,000 people are living. So now divide the population with square kilometers. 1,000 population divided by 10 square kilometers. That is equal to 100. Means here, for every square kilometer, how many people are living? 100 people are living. That is the meaning of density of population. We will say the population in density of population for square kilometer. For square kilometer. So like that, not only for this village, we calculate population density for whole country. For whole country. Clear? So here you can see the density of population year 2011 census. Now 2021 census came recently, so those information is not available. So according to the 2011 census means for every 10 years we will gather the information about population. That is the meaning of census. So according to 2011 census, the density of population, what you have to understand meaning of density of population. Population in a square kilometer, people living in a square kilometer is called a density of population. So how to calculate density of population? Total population of that place or country or state divided by total area in square kilometers. Total area in square kilometers. Then you can find the density of population for square kilometer in that area, in that state, in that town, in that country. So here Andhra Pradesh density of population 309 per square kilometers, 309 people are living. So Bihar 1102. So when you go to Telangana, in Telangana how much density of population is there? 307. So like that, here given information about all the states. So if you compare all the states, in Arunachal Pradesh, density of population for square kilometer is very less, only 17 in Arunachal Pradesh. Where more density of population is there? In Bihar, 1102. Least is Arunachal Pradesh, highest is Bihar. So after Arunachal Pradesh, I think in Mizoram, density of population is less. Later, third place goes to Sikkim, Himachal Pradesh, 123 only. So more population is at Bihar. Next goes to West Bengal and Kerala. Later, remaining all states almost here and there nearest, Punjab and Tamil Nadu, like that. So how this information calculated? First of all, they gathered the total population of the Andhra Pradesh divided by the area of the Andhra Pradesh in square kilometers. Like that in Telangana also same, the total population of the Telangana divided by the Telangana area in square kilometers. Then we find the density of population for every square kilometers is 307. So is it in this way only all the people are spread in the whole state? No. When you compare Hyderabad, the density of population is more than 1000. Hyderabad is, if you restrict to only Hyderabad, that is 1000. But Hyderabad people also taken into total population divided by the total area. So that's why the Telangana density of population is, when you compare with other states, little bit less. Okay. But if you take only density of population in Hyderabad, that is more than 1000 or 1500. So like that. Okay. Clear? So here you can see the our state country given. So we can
map, sir, map.
Country map given. So index some colors given here. By seeing that information, so what you have to do, you should fill these colors. Take the political map. Political maps means, so which are having these lines. Take the political maps. By using that information, census information, density of population, so then you color the states. Which color? The density of population which is having 0 to 250. So those states should filled with the yellow color. 251 to 500.
Sir, Itlandia, sir.
Yeah, 1000 above this color.
Sir, like this maps.
Yama?
Sir, Atlantia, sir, maps.
I didn't get Nana.
Sir, I'm showing the photo of the map, sir.
Yeah, here map
Atlantia.
is there now.
Okay.
I'm sharing the map now. In this map, not here. You take the map, political map as homework. So based on this information, so fill these colors. Okay. Where
Yes,
more
sir.
1000 population is there, only Bihar. Bihar should be color with this one. Where less than 250 registered population is there in that state, those states filled with yellow color. Okay, this is homework for you. So do that and send to me. Like that, you have to prepare different maps. Here, next, conventional symbols and maps. So already we have discussed, we use different symbols on map. Already you know that. So to show physical object on the map, we use different symbols. Example, towns or villages, inhabited, deserted fort. So some symbols given here. Next, temples, towers are different symbols. Light ship, lighthouse, light ship, for that purpose different symbols. So every physical object, say there is a separate symbol is there. So by preparing, at the time of preparing map, so we have to use these symbols to explain about this. Example, if you want to explain water bodies in our state, so where the tanks are there, where wells are there, where canals are there, where rivers are there. So by using the symbols, we can explain. Okay, so these are more important conventional symbols to show on the map. Yeah. Next. So contour lines. Already you learned the contour lines, about contour lines in 7th class, I think. What is the contour line?
Contour line.
What is the meaning of that? It shows same height. The towns are places located in the same height. The places which are laid on the contour line means those are in same height. Okay, now?
Yes, sir.
Contour lines are lines on the map joining places of same height measured from the sea level. So why we measure height of the places from the sea level? Yes. Why we measured height of the places only from sea level? Why we take the sea as a base? Because all the seas are same, equal height. All the oceans are connected each other. That's why the surface of the seas are same. So that's why we calculate height of the places from sea level. Clear? Next, the contour line means here, you can see here, contour lines on the map joining places of the same height measured from the sea level. It can explain in another meaning also. Okay, the places which are lies on the contour line are same height. So these are also called isolines. Contour lines also called isolines, joining places with same common features. Here common feature is height. Sometimes we can take the height, sometimes we can take the climate, sometimes we can take the weather. Okay, clear? So the places which are lies on the line are having same features. So those are called contour lines. So then how to representation of relief features on the map. So already you know that meaning of relief features. So the surface of the land is not even or not equal. So if you compare the surface of the land from one place to another place, one state to another state, one country to another country, one continent to another continent. So the land mass or surface of the land is not same. Okay, there are so many differences are there between places in different places. So the land differed from one place to another. Somewhere mountains are there. If you go to Jammu and Kashmir, you can find the Himalayas there. But in Telangana or in some other places, we don't have that much height. Hills not there. Mountains are not there. Okay, when you go to Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats, when you go to Tamil Nadu, highest hills are there. So like that, the places in different places, different parts are different, vary. Okay, those are called relief features. That is called relief features. Example, which type of land masses are there on our earth surface? Deserts are there, mountains, valleys, plain lands, deltas, plateaus, ghats, rivers, lakes. So like that, so many variations are there on the surface of the land. These are called relief features. So main relief features are hills, valleys, plateaus. Okay, plateaus, plains, river basins, rocky and sandy places. So these are called relief features. Here relief features means there are so many variations are there on land, surface of the land. Okay, total surface of the land is not even, not same. Okay, one place differ with another place. So those are called relief features. Clear? So how can we show all those on the surface of the land? So now we shows these relief features with the help of contour lines. With the help of contour lines. So already we discussed in the previous. Contour lines means, so contour line help to explain a feature of the places, common feature of the places. Example, if you draw one contour line through Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, means, so that contour line explaining that, so some common features are there between Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Clear? So we can mention what we are showing on the contour line. So that likewise we are using contour lines to explain a specific feature or common feature of the different places. Okay, so we can see here figure 16, hills. So hills are there. Hills are having different heights. In the bottom is some height. In the after when you go up, the height is different, like that, like that. It is there. If you want to show on the map, So bottom, we are showing the bottom total width. So that is height is 10 feet height. We can show these lines in a different color also. Or after drawing the lines, we can mention with the height here given. This line is 10 feet height. Another line is 20 feet height. Third one is 30 feet height. Fourth one is 40 feet height. Okay, here 40 feet height is the peak of the mountain. So this place is having a 40 feet height. Remaining all area is having 10 feet height, like that. To show the variations in the height, we use the different lines. But you have to mention the height of the line. If you draw or leave, no one can understand. They can understand there is a difference in the height, but how much difference is there, we cannot identify. But we have to take the same difference between each line. So to show the heights of the mountain, so we use the contour lines. Okay, we cannot draw these mountains on the map as it is. That's why to represent these heights, we are using contour lines. So means this first contour line, the places lies in the first contour lines all are having the same 10 feet height. So in the second line, it is 20 feet height contour line. The places which are located on the second line, the all places are having 20 feet height. So like that, to explain the heights of the places or slope of the places, so we use the contour line. Even to show the depth of the oceans also, depth of the oceans, depth of the canals, depth of the tanks, okay, lakes, we can use the contour line. Sometimes contour lines are used in a fixed intervals. I said you should take the fixed intervals only between two contour lines. Okay, either 10 meters or 10 feet, 20 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters, like that. You have to take only fixed intervals between every contour line. Here, how much difference taken? 10, 10, 20, 30, 40. So here also taken 10 between all the contour lines, 10 feet height. Okay, next. Sometimes contour lines give an indication of the slope of the land or elevation of the land. Okay, so if you show the slope where contour lines are far apart, or it represent a gentle slope. Closer lines represent the steep slopes. If the contour lines are very near, means there is a deep slope is there. Okay, you can observe from this picture. Okay, some are given here. Okay, so this is the slope. So to show the slopes, so we show the contour lines. Okay, so here what you have to observe, if the lines are very closer, so there is a more slope is there. When the contour lines are far away, so here far away from each other, here also these contour lines are far away. But here some contour lines are very near, means here more slope is there, but here the slope is less. So like that we can explain slope or height with the help of contour lines. Next topic is atlas. Already you know atlas. Atlas is a collection of maps. We can see all the
Sure.
different maps in a class, political maps, physical maps, okay, topographic maps, and climate maps, forest maps. So different maps we can see in a atlas. So that's why it is called a collection of maps. Collection of maps. If you have a atlas, means total world in your hand. In your hand, the information in your hand. You can know the information about any country from everything. Example, flag, shape, color, what are printed in that flag, height of the flag, width of the flag, where and the capital cities of the countries, and which type of crops they grow, which type of lands are there, which type of minerals are present in those lands, and which type of hills are there, mountains are there, either they are having oceans or not, coastal area is there or not, okay, the language people to speak, okay, and different religion people, like that every information about the country we can know through the atlas, okay, everything. So if you have a atlas, you can learn more about our world.